Mhm.
All
There you
right, I got it. I'm coming in from my phone, guys. So good to see everybody. Happy Friday to you. Big wave. Good to see you. I'm giving it the one hand wave, two wave. Here we go. Um, Good to see everybody this morning. And talking about happy St. Patrick's Day. Um, my son actually, Peyton, got to wish him a happy birthday today. So Peyton Palmer is 21 years old. He told me last night, he said, 21. I can drink now. I just don't, he said, I just don't drink. I said, it's a thought that counts. I mean, it's a thought. At least you can if you wanted to, but he don't want to. So I'm like, okay. Um, but I do. I will be spending a little bit of time with Peyton before I head out of town for tomorrow. Got an event in Jackson, Tennessee, and pray for everybody's safety as they travel to Jackson for the event. But our word for today, I'm excited about. I got to move to it. Is acceptance. Acceptance. And guys, this was a great one for me. I don't know if it'll be a great one for you. I hope it is, but it's if you look at the definition, it's the action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. But the second definition is what kind of struck me, the action or process of being received as adequate or suitable. And that kind of sent me off in a couple of places. Elizabeth Edwards says this, and please try to listen closely to this. Resilience in life is accepting your new reality, even if it's less good than what you had before. Now, when I heard that this morning, resilience is accepting your new reality, even if it's less good than what you had before. It really sent my mind into the word acceptance. And she went on to say, you can fight it. You can do nothing but scream about what you've lost, or you can accept it and try to put together something that's great. And so I started thinking, and guys, I want to show you this picture real quick. How many of you remember Michael J. Fox? What about what about Back to the Future? There's Michael J. today. The Nutty Professor. Everybody remember the professor there that was, you know, Marty McFly, all that good stuff. You can go back and watch it tonight. It's Friday night. So here's the beauty. You see Michael there. Michael's got Parkinson. Here's what he said. Michael J. Fox said, acceptance doesn't mean resignation. See, Michael J. Fox was probably given 1.5 to 9 years to live when he was diagnosed. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. Here's what he did. It means, and this is a quote by him, it means understanding that something is what it is, and that there's got to be a way through it. So what I looked at this morning, thank you, Andrea, for that. Go back to the other picture if you could, Andrea. This was big for me. I went back to that picture right there and I looked at Michael J. Fox. And I said, acceptance doesn't mean resignation. 1.5 to 8 to 9 years to live. It means understanding that something is what it is and that there's got to be a way through it. That's been years later, that picture right there. Just was taken not too long ago. He's given 1.5 to 9 years to live years ago. So let me tell you what I know about Michael J. Fox. Thanks, Andrew. In 2000, he stepped down from the sitcom where he was the leading role of Spin City. Anybody remember Spin City? And he shifted his focus to being an activist. He launched the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. And it's driven his passion since 2000. There's got to be a way through it. And when I looked at that this morning, I saw that, I thought, man, Brent Palmer needs to learn acceptance and look through what the obstacle is to get to the other side, just like Michael J. Fox is doing. So, Andrea, great lesson for me this morning. I'll turn it to you.
Well, that was a really, really great one. So thank you for that, Coach. And I went in a different way. So I don't even know. But anyway, so the quote that I found, I actually found two that kind of spurred me this morning. Sometimes the simple solution is acceptance. And then it's kind of funny that I have a Michael J. Fox quote as well, which says, acceptance is the key to everything. And when I heard that, it almost to me, when I was thinking of acceptance, I was kind of thinking almost like a failure. And bear with me here for a second, but okay, something bad's going to happen and we just have to accept it. Or, I'm not going to do what I want to do, but I just am going to accept it. But really, it can be so much more and so much a more positive thing than that. But it's important to distinguish acceptance from embracing, because they're actually two different things. To accept something is to receive it, but we don't necessarily have to be excited about it. We don't have to feel positive about the situation in order to accept it. And I think about Michael J. Fox. He has, I'm confident, blessed a lot of people through his activism with Parkinson's. And I am sure that he has created a ripple in this world that we never would have had or anticipated without him having this disease. But I still doubt that he's excited about it. That when he got that diagnosis, he was like, oh my goodness, this is the best thing ever. That'd be a little bit kind of sadistic, but to accept it means, okay, this is my lot and what can I do with it? And acceptance is also not passive. Just like Coach just said, it doesn't mean to surrender to it. It just means that it is what it is and I'm going to move forward. So there are some things in our world that we should accept, right? Some things that we should absolutely accept. The first is ourself. So accept yourself. When you look in the mirror, it is what it is. So that does not mean that we shouldn't learn. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't continue to grow and improve and exercise and eat well and take care of ourselves, both mentally and physically. But throughout it, accept where we are and love yourself in that process. The second thing that we need to accept is that things will always change. Accept that we have no idea truly what the day will bring, what the week will bring, what the month will bring, that we'll even get that day, week, month, year. It's all a gift, and we just have to accept that things will change. So our job is to plan. Our job is to prepare. Our job is to do our best to manage that change, but accept that the change is going to happen, and a lot of it. Number 3 is accept that we're going to lose some people along the way. And that is a part of life. Relationships change. Lives change, seasons end, and love every single human that we have right in this moment for the season that we have them, and accept that it won't always be like today, right? That will evolve and change. The next one is we aren't our thoughts. And this is something that we need to accept. And I'm actually listening to a book that I'll admit that I don't really want to read the title to everybody. So I'm going to, I don't know.
Don't read the title, please. I wasn't
going to say the word. I'll bleep it out, but it's Well, I'll just say this. It's a book by Gary John Bishop, and he drops a lot of F-bombs, and the F-bomb is in the title. But it's
And I recommended the read. So okay.
so it's your fault. It's your fault. You can't be mad at me for reading it or listening to it. But and so it's a little bit of a abrupt title. But we'll just say Unmess Up Yourself is going to be the Andrea version of the title. But one of the things that it talks about in there is that we really need to accept the fact that we're not our thoughts. We have a million thoughts in our day, some good thoughts, some bad thoughts, some big thoughts, some small-minded thoughts. We have them all. And we have to realize that we must accept the fact that there is actually a degree of separation. So I might think that I am a failure today, but I can accept the fact that that is just a thought and it's not a reality. And then the flip side as well. So just accept the fact that we are not our thoughts. And then last thing, and this is a big one, is we need to accept the fact that we, thank you for the symbols there, Rick and Jane, but we can't control other people. Oh goodness, can you think about what our lives would look like if we could? Like, how much easier would our life be if we could just control every single human that we were around? But man, how much less interesting, how much less joy would we experience? How much less, positive would we experience if we controlled everybody in our life? So it's a good thing that the only human that we have any control over is ourselves. And sometimes we could even struggle right there if you're like me. So if we accept the fact that the only person we control is that person that looks us back in the mirror, then we will be so much happier and more successful in our life. So thank you for this one this morning, Coach. Thank you for the book title. I didn't know how to say that, Rick. So I appreciate all the different asterisks in there, but it's a really good book. Very interesting.
Andrew, a great lesson. And it was a great end for the week for me on this one. And again, Sophia, if you're watching the recording later, happy birthday to you tomorrow. Hope you have an amazing weekend.
Are we going to sing to Peyton?
No, he's not on. I sing.
All right.
I'll sing to him later. He doesn't get to sing.
All right.
He's got to be on for the song.
Okay.
I mean, yes, and hear all. So good to see everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bless you all.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you,
guys.
Andrea.
They really
Every
were
day.
for today.
Guys, great.